Anytime you're ready.
Alright, so I'm wiping down the pot.
He's working downstairs.
Because the crystals of sugar that end up on the side of the pot could easily fall down in the sugar, causing the whole batch of sugar to turn into one big hot pile of granulated sugar again. It just needs, all the crystals of sugar need is one little crystal to hang on to. And it will start turning back into granulated sugar. Sugar always wants to be crystallized, but we're going to try to prevent that. This is 1 ounce of tartaric acid, 1 ounce of water, heated just enough to get the tartaric acid to go into solution. So it is an acidic solution designed to reduce the chance of crystallization in your sugar.
He went downstairs for work.
More room, so this is starting to heat up. As it starts to boil, little bubbles will pop, and that will cause more little sugar to dance around and start to hit the side of the pot, causing more crystals to form. So I'll continue wiping down about every few minutes. But once the sugar comes to a boil, I won't stir it after that with anything, because anything goes in there, a tool, a spoon, or anything, the sugar could grab onto it and then cause another crystal to form, and then you end up with a crystalline mass again. So we have to make sure we reduce the possibility of that happening. Now I'm kind of winging it today about how much of this tartaric acid to put in. Normally, to a pound of sugar, my age-old formula was always put in 9 drops of tartaric acid solution when this reaches 266 degrees Fahrenheit. We're going to go ahead and bring it up to about 250, and then we're going to be adding in tartaric acid around 250 to 260. If we wanted to add color to the sugar, that's where we'd add color as well, and then we continue boiling. Then we would take it up to about 290 to 295 degrees. That will bring it up to the hard crack stage normally, but the acid is going to help keep that from happening. And the sugar will then be ready to be poured out onto a marble and we have to then knead the sugar, to actually knead it and pull it in order to get it to do what we need it to do.
When you add coloring, is there a particular type? Is it the gel dye? Is it a dry dye?
Using alcohol-based or a dry coloring. Dry tends to ball up into little pieces, and that becomes a problem because you can't really filter them out. But the alcohol-based, the alcohol evaporates away very quickly and works very well.
Oh no, I'll eat it.
So I'm going to let this boil for a little bit. Let's go ahead and wipe down just to be absolutely sure we've got all sugar off the sides. It's a bit of mise en place that you want to have ready whenever you're cooking sugar. One is that I'm going to get the marble ready in a little bit. The marble needs to be oiled ever so slightly, just a light coating of oil, so it won't stick to the marble. Then we're going to want to make sure we have gloves around. We're going to want to make sure that we have any color that we need, have the tartaric acid ready, these kinds of things, so that we can be ready to use it. We don't want to actually use the sugar until we do what we call satinizing. When you satinize the sugar, that's the pulling process. You fold it over and you pull it again, trapping minuscule little microscopic air bubbles inside the sugar. And what that does is it causes it to look like satin. It has this wonderful satin appearance. Cold sugar will never be clear, necessarily. It's only sugar that's been molded or put into a slab where it's been molded. That's where you can keep it clear. But that's the only time we'd ever be able to keep it that way. And oftentimes people use those mostly for centerpieces and other objects that where they want the clarity, they want the transparency. But in pulled sugar, we typically satinize it, and that gives it a more attractive appearance. So as this is boiling here, let me grab a can of water and